Hello, everyone. This is Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. As you can see, I'm rugged up in my winter woolies. And yes, I do have the heater on here. In fact, I'll just bring it a bit closer. We've actually had snow overnight again. So this is actually quite unusual for this area. We do get snow maybe, I don't know, 2 winters. Hello, Donna. How are you? We do get snow a couple of winters out of, say 6 or 7 seasons, but not always. As I said, it's pretty rare to be snowing where I'm. So, hello, Lynn. How am I? How are I? How am I? Look, I have to be honest. My sister is getting ready to transition, and so I've been back and forward to Young. I'm back now, and then I'm back there toward the end of the week. So I'm holding up. Thank you for all your thoughts. We've known this was going to happen for a long time. She's fought a very, very hard and courageous fight, and really it is time for her to move to I'm going to call it heaven. We know it as the afterlife. I called it heaven to her. And she's ready. She's ready to go. So again, these readings that I've been doing about learning how to handle loss and how to choose which way. You can either go down in the pit or you can come up. Is very prophetic for me also. So yeah, no, I know everybody's sorry. So I'll play it by ear. I'm quite able to keep doing readings. If I'm not, I'll just give you a note and let you know, that I'll take a week off or whatever. But right at the moment, here I am, and it's a live stream. So let's get on with that. I was thinking, what are we going to read on today? I actually want to just touch on the news, really, on the breaking news throughout this live stream. And if you've got any questions, please let me know. Hello, Laura, and everyone else. Okay, isn't that nice that we're able to do that amongst each other, that we're getting to know each other as a group? All right. So the first up is William Barr. Of course, the news has come out today that the House, sorry, I can't say Congress because you can't really include the Senate in that, but the House is moving to vote him in contempt, not impeach him yet, but vote him in contempt for not handing over the unredacted Mueller report. As I understand the American system, and please chime in, everybody, it then goes it's a civil action, and it goes to a judge then. The last time this happened, when I was doing a bit of research for this morning's live stream, was in 2012 when Eric Holder, which was Obama's Attorney General, was held in contempt of Congress again for refusing to hand over something. So, is it a big deal? Well, I think given what he has refused to hand over, I think it is a big deal. That judge threw the contempt out in 2012. Would a judge throw William Barr's contempt proceedings out? I think a judge might uphold it. Well, that's my intuition. I then want to move to Elaine Chao, sorry for the pronunciation there, but she is Mitch McConnell's wife. I've actually done a reading on Mitch McConnell, which I'm going to upload to YouTube. It actually showed he'll struggle to get re-elected for a number of reasons. But she's now come out. There's been emails which show that her family own a shipping business, and she has very close ties to the Chinese government. They caught her. She was Labor Secretary under Bush, so she's been around for a little while in the cabinet. But this begs the broader question: are these Trump's cabinet ministers, given the norms that have been thrown out, are they helping themselves, you know, really? Are they furthering their own agendas? A number of businessmen, business people in that cabinet. So, and if so, will this come to light? Then I want to go to Prince Harry. The image I've got of him, his face was stony as he was at the banquet for Trump. I can hardly look at those images. I don't know about you, but I can't. Also found odd expressions on Prince Charles and Camilla's faces in the photos. Everybody sort of looks a bit uncomfortable and a bit strained. His Trump's approval rating in London, it's like something like 15%. It's maybe it's not that low, but it's very, very low, 25% perhaps. Anyway, a very low approval rating compared to Obama, which was, I think, at 51%. A number of things are being shone onto London monuments like the Big Ben, really trolling Trump. It's quite funny actually to see. Now, also, I've had a couple of questions from viewers on YouTube. I think one of the tarot readers has, or maybe several, have read that Trump actually knows that it's over for him, and I think we'll ask that question. Didn't watch. Yeah, I can't either, Lynn. I just can't. It's like, ooh, get the news and then scroll on. It's like, ooh, dear. And he's put on a lot of weight, Trump, if you saw him in his dinner suit. But anyway, we could get a little bit gossipy there, but we won't, because I've got to go into a reading and ask Spirit for some help to read. Now, I want to mention also in yesterday's reading, I don't know if anybody picked it up, I read on Trump in June, and at 14 minutes and 51 seconds, there is a sound that comes over the tape. I'm recording on a laptop, an iMac. And so this is just me and the microphone. There's nothing else in this bedroom. It wasn't an outside sound. It was actually into the microphone. It sounded like, one of the viewers said it sounded like Mary. Now, Mary was the name that my dad and my mum used with me. Where I'm sitting, I have a lot of photos of them around, wedding photos, and also one with Dad and I. I'll just get that so you can see him. I wouldn't surprise me if it was actually my dad. I don't know if you can see that. That's me on my wedding day, and that's my dad there. You go back and listen to it. It's around 14 minutes and 51 seconds. I figure because this is an Explorer channel, we should talk about these things. I've thought what could it be? Was it Rocky? No, it's not the Rocky sound. There was nothing else going on in the bedroom. It's like it's like one of those EVPs. Is that what they're called when the people go out and record sounds in houses? Anyway, you listen for yourself and see what you can make of it. But one viewer, without my prompting, said it sounds a bit like someone saying Mary. So anyway, there you go. So it wouldn't surprise me if that was my dad. Okay, let's get on with this reading now. I'll just and also, if any of you have got any stories like that, please put them in the comments section, because it's all about validation here. I use quite a lot of validation around people. Your mother's name was Mary. That's nice. Yeah. Around people who are a bit skeptical. And I certainly used a lot of validation with my sister, who was a little bit anxious about transitioning. So it's important that we actually share these stories. If you've had any experiences with passed over loved ones contacting you, please do let us know. All right, so let's get started. Let me just position here a little bit. Okay. William Barr. Will he be held in contempt? I think that's really where we've got to start. Oh, dear. I'm just getting that image of him in his vest. And was it a flannelette shirt? Okay, William Barr. Will he be held in contempt of, will the household William Barr in contempt for not releasing the unredacted or parts of the unredacted or unredacted Mueller report? Will the household William Barr in contempt? All right, let's have a look here. Ooh, so there's this continual cards coming up around to do or not to do. This is the Seven of Cups, and it's around also, well, there's always a couple of meanings here. This is the choices that the Democrats have to make. That's the first thing. They finding I guess, well, they're holding back on certain actions. But this is also the card of illusion and delusion as the signifier card, smoke screens, cover-ups even. So this is a signifier card suggesting that the contempt would be because he threw a smoke screen over the Mueller report. Now, challenged by the Queen of Cups, here's our Queen of Cups. I'm using the Spellcaster Tarot deck. Our Queen of Cups is coming up again, suggesting he's being challenged by, and I think we can really deepen our understanding of this card here, the Queen of Cups. She's there for support, but she also has a harder aspect about her than just this, loving, supportive character. She also holds the cup, as I say, with secrets to be revealed. Will she reveal those secrets? So it seems to me that the signifier cards are Barr through a smoke screen, and because he covered up, he didn't release the entire information there. The Queen of Cups has come forward, which is interesting, isn't it? Suggesting that when we try and do these things, there's always something else at play to try and bring information through, certainly in this situation. Now, I'll just bring this down so you can see the cards here. So there are signifier cards. What is the foundation of the reading is the Nine of Wands. Now, what does that look like? It looks like someone who is really caged. This is around being putting up boundaries. This is around having to defend oneself. This is also really in this deck, in this particular deck, almost being cornered. And if you look at this, what's in front of this character, we've got this symbolic. I don't know what it would be. Well, it's a star here, but it's also being used to hold him in, suggesting that this character here is a little bit sinister and needs restricting. That's the foundation of the reading. Interesting, isn't it, what the cards bring forward? We've got our Star of Hope reappearing in my spreads a lot lately, suggesting that hope, keeping the thoughts positive, holding firm to the vision of holding this government to account has actually slowly but surely been leading to this situation. I guess I do want to say also that for us it seems to be moving slowly, but under the circumstances where you've got such corruption in such a high office, again, where Republicans held the balance of power and hold, the power in the Senate, it takes, you start from almost nothing, don't you? You start from the shock and disbelief that it happened, and then you go from there. But I do feel that this card here, and it's quite purple, suggesting a spiritual connection here. I do feel that this has been playing out in the background since 2016. And before, because as you know, this was one of Obama's sayings, key election sayings, I think, hope and change. Okay, what is in the sky? What is the potential of this current situation? What is the issue? What is the problem? This is Barr, the downfall of Barr. This is a painful ending here. Okay, let's have a look what's in the immediate future. This is the Ace of Swords here. Of course, the Sword of Truth. Ooh. What's going to get Barr in the end? What do you think is going to get Barr in the end? I'll do a more complete reading of William Barr on YouTube, because apparently one of my viewers has told me he went and visited Alaska for 4 days. They're not really sure what he did in Alaska. You know, is how strong are the ties to Russia? Do they extend to William Barr as well? We know he did a bit of consulting work for, I think, one of those oligarchs, but that didn't strike me as being major. I want to dig around a little bit in William Barr's life. Okay, the Sword of Truth, suggesting that I'm reading from this, and I don't know what else you're getting, that the current cover-up is what's going to lead to potentially some sort of downfall, but we haven't got to the end of the reading yet. Okay, so the Six of Pentacles, the current situation, this is loans and debts. Okay, well, this is Trump's financials. Okay. What has William Barr been trying to cover up? Trump's business dealings, Trump's financials, the financial trail, the who Trump was in debt to, who he might have been dealing with, the Moscow Tower, etc., etc. This is what's in that unredacted portion. I wonder too about the intelligence report as well. It's Trump's financials. He's protecting Trump's connection. He's protecting Trump, the businessman, and he's going to take a fall from it, for it. So what's in the environment around Barr is this money insecurity. Well, it's insecurity, full stop, with the Four of Pentacles. It's someone who who's terribly insecure. So he is worried. He's been making moves to, I guess, come forward and say, look, further information, don't hold me in contempt. Why is he saying that? We'll ask, because I think the judge would uphold the House's contempt finding. I really do. We'll ask that. Okay, so hello, Julie. Good to see you. Good to see everyone. Okay, so hopes and fears. We've got the Two of Swords here. This is a crossroads card. Now that's interesting. It's made its appearance right here in this reading. It's around those heavy forces, and it's having to make a decision and a compromise. But I see various depictions of this card in my various tarot decks and others, and I've ordered another deck. I know I said I wouldn't, but I can't help myself. I just absolutely need to explore other artists' impressions on the tarot, or of the tarot. But anyway, this deck, this card often is represented as someone at a crossroads. So what does that, why, this is in the hopes and fears position. Why is it showing up there? I would suggest that holding Barr in contempt is the beginning of the Democrats fighting back, and beginning also the courts now becoming more and more involved in this. If you've noticed, the courts were showing up in my reading months ago, and I always felt that it wasn't just the lawmakers who would move this situation forward. It was actually the courts as well, the lawmakers, the investigators, and the courts. Okay, so and again, I think, Julie, was it you that brought forward that statistic? Mitch McConnell's only moved 41 judges into the system, and there's hundreds and hundreds. Julie might put that figure there again. So the courts are going to play a really strong, significant role in all of this. Okay, so the Crossroads card is appeared in the hopes and the fears. Damn it, the outcome card is waiting for results, but it's also the planning that goes into it as well. Let's see what that's clarified by. Some kind of strong action coming forward, and the Page of Wands, which of course is this kind of quest that we're all on in this whole situation to get this corrupt regime out of power and stop the rise of fascism in the world, really. Okay, now what's hidden from our view is the wish card, miracles. I feel that this reading is telling us that this action, which the House is actually going to take is actually a really good move to hold Barr in contempt. Now let's have a quick look at whether the court will uphold that. They didn't in 2012 with Eric Holder, but will they now? Because it is a far more serious situation now than what we had in 2012. I can't even remember. It was so innocuous what the Republicans wanted Holder to hand over, but it certainly didn't strike at the heart of a corrupt president, potentially who is, you know, possibly involved in mafia type activities. All right, the judge. Okay, so we've got that judge also in the Flynn. I'm going to ask quickly also, we'll add that to the list of questions. I don't want to keep you too long, but what that judge is going to do in relation to Flynn. Of course, the Attorney General has stopped the prosecutors from handing over the tape of Flynn talking with the Russian ambassador. So there's going to be more on that. This could be why this situation in holding Barr in contempt, if they can get the House finding. Okay, so we get angry with the Democrats, don't we? We go, we'll just impeach this fellow, take him off the world stage, get rid of him. It's not that simple. By the way, he's also now talking about putting tariffs on Australia's aluminium, which is we're actually almost in a recession here. And that's going to really do a lot of damage to us. So, you know, it's very, you know, you want him gone, but it's not that simple. But I feel that this is linking in with the Flynn thing, that if they can hold Barr in contempt, if they can prove a pattern of behaviour, it becomes easier then to, I guess, impeach him. Interesting. All right. Let's go to the judge. Will the judge, let me check the comments. Oh, great. I've been wondering what Sullivan is going to do. It's not a good idea to ignore. No, it's Sullivan. Is it Emmett? Is it? Anyway, I know the judge. Okay. Yep. 40 or 41. Okay. Julie's letting us know that there was only 40 or 41 federal judges put in by McConnell. There's more in the lower courts. All right. That's been the reading that I'll upload to YouTube. That's been McConnell's big thing. All right. So will the judge uphold the contempt, the House's contempt finding? Will the judge, will the court uphold the House's contempt finding? Because if that's the case, it's a domino effect. The cards will fall, perhaps. Will the courts uphold the House contempt finding? All right, let's have a look. Oh, Six of Swords. It's that's a signifier card. It's this card, you know, another one that comes up a lot of the time. This is around moving on. It's a necessary moving on from almost a very bad situation, and it's moving on to safer harbours. So this is actually a good signifier card in this situation. The Knight of Pentacles. That's interesting because that's money. And this knight is very, very courageous. So that's crossing the Six of Swords. So I feel that even though Barr wants to move, everyone wants to move on, nothing to see here, I feel that the judge is going to find that this is significant, because he would have, I guess, to rule on that, he would have to have a look at the Mueller report, the unredacted Mueller report. It could be that's the basis of the House's findings or evidence in relation to the contempt, is that they need to have a look at those deals, particularly around the Moscow Tower. Something's going to be Barr's undoing here. The Knight of Cups as the foundation of the reading, suggesting that there was an offer taking place. Okay, so I feel this is around the Moscow Tower unredacted part. That might be one of the key arguments here that might come forward. I'm not a lawyer, but that appears to me where this might go. It's got to do with the money and then proving why this should come out. Now, in the past, we've got the Chariot, which is suggesting things coming forward. This is our ride. This is what we're on now. It's a roller coaster, isn't it? You know, it's tiring. I think there's an element of mental fatigue here, as a mental and emotional fatigue. However, we've got to see it through to the end because, you know, we need to end this situation. Now, the Hierophant, what's in the sky? The Hierophant, which is the government. It's also the courts. Now, if you look here, this person is far more... is in authority, and these people are kneeling at this person's feet. That's the power of the Congress still, and this person has a whip as well, but this is also the power of the court. Interesting cards. Yeah, the Lovers, deals. Okay, this is not just Russia. This is Barr and the way that he is protecting this president. Interesting. All right. Two of Pentacles right now, juggling and manipulation. This, I feel, is Barr, what he's trying to do still. The environment around, of course, is the House trying to get to the truth. Okay, so that's what's happening now. Let's have a look at hopes and fears. The information emerging. There's plenty left to tell. Okay, Seven of Swords. Okay, that's theft and betrayal. We asked, would the court uphold? I can read this. I'll get some clarifiers. I can read this in two ways. The court will not agree with the contempt and also protect this kind of betrayal, this trying to get away with something. All this will come out. So let's have a look at what the clarifiers are saying. Ten of Pentacles, this is my Trump card, Trump organization. I'm feeling the information's going to come out. And the Queen of Pentacles, again, financial resources, etc. So I feel that this is where the information is critical here to the Democrats, and holding Barr in contempt might make it easier now to get that information. I asked, will the court uphold it? I think they will, because that's what's hidden from our view. Our Ten of Swords here, Barr's downfall. So I feel that this is not a battle that Barr can win, and I feel that the court could uphold, I hope I'm right, could uphold that finding of contempt. All right, let's, conscious of time, let's move to Elaine Chao, and let's look at the rest of Trump's cabinet. Mnuchin is obviously one that gets under everyone's skin. Wilbur Ross is another. I mean, we're starting to see this kind of thing in Australia as well. We're starting to see cabinet appointees that are just there, really. They are the opposite to what you would expect, and it's almost like you're incredulous, saying, how could you give that portfolio, that environmental type portfolio or role, to a business person farmer who has strong relationships with the fossil fuel industry and big farmers who are clearing land, yet he's given responsibility for the environmental oversight. So, this is the kind of thing that Trump did with his cabinet. Let's have a look. Are these cabinet members, including Elaine Chao? Yeah, it is. It actually is, because you look at human behavior. What does human behavior do? It actually follows others. Others lead the way. This is why leadership is so critical, good leadership. But if you have bad leadership and you get away with things, then that's just an example for others to follow. So, I said right at the beginning when I started this is a ripple effect, and we've got to counteract it with any way we can. All right, let's have a look at Trump's cabinet. Elaine Chao and the rest of the cabinet, Trump's cabinet members, some cabinet members, Mnuchin, Ross, Chao, are they helping themselves? Are they lining their own pockets? Are they profiting from their cabinet positions? Trump's cabinet secretaries, are they profiting from their cabinet positions? Okay. All right, the Eight of Pentacles. Yep, they're doing work. Okay, this is the how we earn our coin. This isn't working on behalf of everybody else. This is working on behalf of themselves. All right, what's challenged is the secrets. Okay, always the media are breaking these stories. They're bringing these secrets to light. So earning their coin, feathering their nest, whatever you want to say, is being challenged by things that actually have to come to the surface. And the other aspect of the moon is it's a crisis of faith. What happens when you've got a crisis of faith? Well, people get angry and they start to dig. They start to act. They start to resist. They start to mobilize, including the media. And the truth then starts to come out. Now, the foundation of the reading is balance. So that's interesting. That's a positive. We've had a lot of heavy stuff coming out this morning, but we've got balance here as the foundation of the reading. Why would we have balance? Because the process has already started to stop this from happening. This is the Hanged Man, as you know, comes forward when they can't move forward. So what started out as a lush pasture for these cabinet members has quickly come to a halt because of the work to bring balance back into politics. So that's good. Phew, I'm just going to stop and draw a bit of a deep breath here. That's good. I'm glad to see those cards. All right, retreat. Absolutely. Thank you, Spirit. So whatever they were doing, they're starting to retreat from certainly overt and I guess very obviously nefarious stuff, because it's like a tumbleweed or a boulder actually coming down a hill. It's just gathering momentum. Okay, the Five of Wands in the future, obstacles and challenges. This is also the house, taking the house. It's not a superficial thing to say that taking the house in America for the Democrats was the critical factor here. So if you're whinging about the Democrats, just remember what would happen if the House wasn't taken. People voted for accountability and oversight. All right, and I know that they're taking their time. Well, it appears they're taking their time, but there is strategy in what they're doing. The cabinet members at the moment, this is the 10 of Pentacles. Surprise, surprise, dynastic wealth. This is family wealth. This is my Trump organization card. A lot of those cabinet members have their own companies. This is what they're currently doing. I asked, were they helping themselves? The environment around financial resources. Okay. All right. Hopes and fears. This is what they fear. I haven't got enough money. Enough is never enough. I want more. So it's a basic insecurity that drives this kind of behavior. Okay. They're being restricted right now, or they're going to be restricted. This is the Nine of Wands. It's interesting. I like this card. This might be my new favorite card because they're all held almost in a prison by this symbolic five-pointed star here, suggesting that they are on the dark side and needing to be restrained. Ooh, I wondered if this was going to come to light. It will. It's all going to come out in the wash eventually, and there's going to be victory here as a result. And what's hidden from view is the Ace of Swords. Wow. Okay, that was pretty full on. Yes, yay the Tower, and yay the Ace of Swords, the Sword of Truth. Okay, let's move to Prince Harry and Trump. Gosh, there's a lot of cleaning up to do, isn't there? This is going to go on for years. There's going to be books written, research done, scholarly articles, the whole lot, history op-eds, historic op-eds. This is going to be all of that, figuring out just what a low point this actually was. All right. Okay. So, what does Prince Harry think of Trump? He's always trying to protect his wife, obviously. He's had that brutal experience with his mother being hounded by the press, indeed hounded to her death. He has no love. He has a deep-seated emotional charge there over that. And Trump criticising his wife, particularly when she's just had a little baby, remembering she's on maternity leave. He called her a nasty woman. Has cut deep, very, very deep, because Prince Harry knows better than anyone how Trump gaslights and uses the media to whip up a frenzy. Now he's already seen the consequences of what happens when the media hounds and gets onto something, gets onto a story. He's furious. Okay, he's furious, and it was written all over his face. I'm just going to cut these cards so that we don't pick up any of Trump's horrible cabinet energies. And William Barr. They've all got a particular look about them, haven't they? All right, I shouldn't do that because Spirit's been good to us this morning. Okay, so I've learnt the hard way when I should be putting boundaries up when I get a little bit judgmental. Okay, yeah, exactly. All right, what does Prince Harry, what did he think, what was going through his mind, what did he think of Trump at that state banquet? His face was florid red, there wasn't smiling, his lips were pursed. I think he was keeping his distance. What does Prince Harry think of Donald Trump? Prince Harry, Donald Trump, oops. Oh, okay, well, the King of Swords. Harry's not a king, but he's a royal, and this is wanting to, I feel, cut that Trump's hat off. I feel he was furious. This is someone who, very, very strong-minded, thoughts coming forward very, very strongly. So we'll leave that as our signifier card. What was crossing Harry was the devil. And if you looked at my reading yesterday, this also is the Saturn influence that I've it's just a light bulb moment. The devil is, yes, greed and avarice, of course, but it's also the great, the almost, I don't know, devil that shakes things up. So look at what was there. Prince Harry with his fury. This is my Moolah card as well, although one could ask how furious Moolah was. I do feel he was beaten down, but that's for another reading. The King of Swords here, ultimate power here, very strong king, and what's crossing him is the demagogue, if you like, the devil, this greed, this avarice, this thing. Okay, but it is the energy here, very disruptive energy. Trump knew exactly what he was doing when he said those things. Okay, let's bring the laptop down. It's starting to warm up here now. Okay, so we've got, God, the foundation of the reading, the Three of Cups. Look at this. These people in this deck, I mean, some decks, the Three of Cups is in its traditional meaning means support, circles of support. But this is also, these people are actually falling into a pond. There's something quite superficial about this card. I think that the royal family, I think Prince Harry took a very, very dim view of not just Trump, but Trump and his entourage and his family. What's in the past is the Knight of Wands. This is, I guess, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's work. They believe in doing inspirational work. They are posed to Trump, the superficiality of Trump. What's in the sky is the Hermit card. This is suggesting Prince Harry kept his distance because he was so furious. But it's also suggesting that Trump was reasonably isolated emotionally during this visit. The royals might be hosting him, but they're not giving him any emotion at all. They're keeping their distance. All right, the Five of Pentacles in the immediate future. This is loss here, and I feel this is, again, Prince Harry felt the loss for his wife. It's not, yes, it's a victim card, but it also comes forward when you've got something emotional that you need to triumph over, suggesting Prince Harry was quite wounded by this, for a lot of reasons that we talked about when we opened up this reading, including his past. All right, now currently waiting for results. They know that Trump's on the way out, and of course they're sitting there marking time. Damn Theresa May for inviting at the beginning, and then Trump following up and saying, well, you invited me, I want this visit. Okay, so then he sort of almost invited himself. The environment around is the ending of his presidency. This card has come up so many times with this UK visit, it worries me. It's in the environment around, but in this context, given that we're waiting, I feel it's the end of Trump's presidency. The past here in the hopes and fears of reunions with innocence and oneself. I said the past is pushing Harry's buttons, and indeed it is. It is in a very strong way. The Page of Wands here. Harry's not with Trump and his entourage. Harry's with Meghan Markle and everybody else. This is the quest to get rid of this dictator. Obstacles and challenges. Yeah. He was very cut up about this, and this is the Page of Cups, suggesting there might be some surprise news coming out as well. What's hidden from our view? A new emotional starts here. Okay, so he was quite wounded, and I feel that Trump and the Republicans don't have allies in the royal family. Let's just put it like that. All right, one last question and then we'll get going. Trump equals the devil. Yep. Okay. I'll just show. Sorry. YouTube's actually, they don't always let every comment through, just so you know. I will. The only time I delete is if someone's rude, someone's swearing, or if there's a clear defamation or libel issue. Laura has said Trump equals the devil, so heads up, YouTube blocked that, but I've just allowed it. All right, one last reading. Does Trump know it's over? Because I think most people do. Well, actually, no. Does Trump think it's over? Yeah, Laura. Why YouTube would block that, I don't know. Probably, they've had satanic videos or something uploaded, and that's just one of the keywords. It's nothing to worry about. I have the power to approve that. Not always, though, but that time I did, because I think we're on a live stream. So, okay. Does Trump know in his heart? He's pretty canny, Trump. He's got a pretty good sixth sense. He uses that to go to those corners where he can divide most effectively. Yeah, I do. I think he does have some psychic ability. Well, I don't know if it's unfortunately. He is the great teacher, isn't he? We always want our teachers to be benign and supportive and light and love, like what's flowing through that window behind us. But they're not always. Some of the greatest teachers are the dark, come from dark and then having to really push forward and seek the light. Okay, does Trump know it's over? In his third eye, in his awareness, in his psychic awareness. Because I won't say it's in his heart, because there's nothing in his heart but coins. All right, so does Trump sense? Does Trump sense that his presidency is over? Does Trump sense that his presidency is over? I feel that even if it is over, he would more or less take it in his stride, because he's got that delusion which we've read on, the ability to delude himself. He would make the best out of the situation, saying, look, I was never really a presidential type. I'm a businessman at heart. I want to get back to doing what I do best. Like he would, but you know, if he's in prison, that's another thing. Does Trump know his presidency is over? Does Trump know his presidency is over? That does Trump sense his presidency is over? Yeah, I'm just getting the image of loans and debts and borrowings. I think he thinks it's inevitable that the truth is going to come out about his businesses. The Four of Pentacles, money insecurity. This is the insecurity around money. So if that insecurity is there and it's been there for a long time, it doesn't suddenly go away just because he's president. What's crossing him is his abuse of power. So he knows when he abuses his power. He would also know how long that can last or not last. Okay, the Four of Wands comes up here with our reunions with each other. This, you know, this is a celebratory card. So he would see this all the time. If you can think of what's going on, if you can hate to say it, put yourself in Trump's shoes. He sees those celebrations. He sees what's going on. He sees the people that are resisting him. He sees the opinion polls. And his answer to all of that is just to abuse his power. But he does see the truth. Okay, the Seven of Swords in the past is the theft and betrayal card here. So he's aware. He's aware of what he's done. He's aware. Well, let's see. He's insecure about it. Yeah, this is the Two of Wands waiting for results. I asked, does he sense? He may sense it's only a question of time. It's only a question of time. But what he's challenging that continually with is abusing the power. So this is almost a race, you know, a race for the truth, and running alongside it is this abuse of power to stop the truth coming out. But I asked, was he aware? And it seems to suggest that he does at some level understand that it is only a question of time. And we've got the current here, we've got in the current situation, we've got the Queen of Cups. We talked about this card earlier. And this is so much more to be revealed, and he knows it. He knows that he's just trying to keep, if you look at that card, she has a hand over the glass. He's just trying to keep the secrets in at this point in time. It's pretty desperate, isn't it? The King of Wands in the environment around. This is the lawmakers. This is the courts. This is the investigators. The King of Wands is actually quite strong. He's one of the strongest in the pack, actually. They call him the bold leader. And that is in the environment around him. So many investigations. He fears imprisonment. Okay, that's his biggest fear with the Eight of Swords here. Restriction, but also this can indicate imprisonment. Okay, he's juggling. He's juggling his thoughts around as well. He is aware at some level that it could be only a question of time. He answers those fears with manipulation and abuse of power. Juggle, juggle, juggle for as long as I can. But prizing open the truth. He's aware it's only a question of time. So, and here's his business, Trump the businessman. So he will hang on for as long as he can, but at some level psychically, aren't they interesting cards? At some level psychically, he understands the truth about him as the businessman, the truth about the Trump organization, the truth about that he doesn't have very much money, or that he's in big debt, or who is he in debt to. He's aware. He's aware of all of that. And what is hidden from our view is he wants to retain his financial independence. He's playing not for the presidency now. He's not playing to keep the presidency. He's playing to come out of this with his money and whatever money, you know, he's playing to retain his financial independence. He's playing to not see everything collapse, because that's what's at stake here. The collapse and ruination of Donald Trump financially in every single way, and potentially imprisonment. So what's he going to do? He's just going to keep doing this and this. Well, no, he's already done that. He's just going to try and keep abusing his power for as long as he can. So that's our live stream today. I think I've done enough talking. I hope they were pretty strong cards that came through one way or another. And it's good that they did. And I think we had a bit of help. We had a bit of help today, I feel, from Spirit. We had a lot of help from Spirit. So I'll leave that there, people. I'll just be monitoring the situation. I'm heading back to Young to see my sister, I think, on the weekend. And then after that, I'll just keep you posted, even if I don't do a live stream, because I need to pre-record for obvious reasons. Then I'll be reading. I'll keep reading. So have a lovely week, everyone. I'll put some guidance cards up later on today. And thank you all for joining me this morning for our live stream. It's been quite enjoyable. If you have any suggestions, people have sent them through, and I've read on them. But if you have any suggestions, send them through to revealinglighttarot@gmail.com, and we'll factor them into our live streams on our Monday morning. So, but I'll keep you posted on what's happening in the next week or so with my sister. So, yeah. All right. Thank you again, everyone, and I'll see you again soon.